Angus, what are you doing sitting in here with the lights off?
Oh, I can't find the light switch.
It's right here.
I swear that wasn't there before you came in. The aliens with the big elbows must have brought it back.
Oh, I mean, I'd like to believe you, Angus, I really would, but you always say it's the aliens with the big elbows.
Aye, well, that's 'cause it always is. I don't expect you to believe me, Scully. Kujo, you're so caught up in your techniques and your colour theories. The aliens with the big elbows could be stunning right behind you and you'd not even notice.
Are they standing right behind me?
No anymore.
Right. Well, how come I'm Scully anyways? Shouldn't that be you? You're the one with the red hair.
Aye, but I'm the intelligent one.
But Scully was the intelligent one.
Right, enough of all that. What we investigating today? I hope it's got big elbows.
Oh yeah, right. That's a really nice segue, Angus. Seamless. We're going to be having a look at how this rope texture was created.
Oh aye, nae big elbows then. What a letdown. Alright, I'm away for a sleep then. Wake me up if there's any elbows.
I'm going to start off with some of this Secret Weapon Old Mud, but you can use any similar colour. You could use something like Games Workshop Karak Stone or Zandri Dust. Whatever muted brown colour you happen to have lying about is going to work just fine. To that, we'll also mix in some black to darken it down quite a fair bit. And we're going to use this as our base colour. So here you can see how it looks on the model after it's blocked in. There's actually quite a bit of snobbery around using black to darken things down.
There's one thing I can't stand, it's snobbery.
But I think it's fine, it works really well. Now if you just start adding your highlight colour to this, it's going to end up quite flat looking because we have all that black in there, so the highlights would end up going grey.
Here, does that not contradict what you were just saying about it being fine to use black to darken down your colours?
What? Alright, yeah, kind of. But if you'd just let me finish, I was about to explain what you can do so that it doesn't go grey.
Alright, we're gonna hurry up and finish then. I can't sit here all day listening to your glaikit puss bleating on and on about utter pish. I'm a busy man. I've got people to see, sheep to shear. Ken what I mean?
Aye, sheep to shear. Is that what you're calling it now?
What? What do you mean by that?
Well...
What the? Right. Look. That was just that one time, right? I mean, I can explain. I was trying to do the
Right, as I was saying, if you were to add black to this, you'd end up with flat grey highlights. So to combat that, what you're going to do instead is mix in a bit of your old mud, and in addition, to make the colour a bit more interesting, we'll also add some Vallejo English uniform. So this makes our colour a bit less boring, and we'll use that as our initial highlight. And we're going to paint that onto the raised parts of the rope, leaving that really dark colour in the recesses. The idea here is to gradually add more of the old mud and English uniform to the highlight, building up the colour around the upper part of the rope. Then when we come to brighten it at the end, the colour won't end up going grey because we're going to have a lot less of that black in there. Alright, so once you've finished picking out the raised parts of the rope, mix in a bit more of your old mud and a touch of English uniform into the highlights, and we'll add another layer, this time focusing more on that upper part of the rope. You'll be painting texture over the top of this, so don't worry too much if your blending isn't spot on. The texture will mask most of the mistakes, so don't feel you need to spend a lot of time on these highlights. Again, we'll add some more of that old mud and a bit of English uniform into the mix, and we'll go back for a final highlight. Pulling the paint into position just around that upper area in the middle there. To finish this off, we're going to add our texture. And for that, we're going to first lighten the highlight with a little white sands. You need to make this quite a bit brighter than your highlight so that you're able to see the texture. Otherwise, it's just going to sort of disappear into the mix, and you don't want that. Now, what you're going to do is paint on little lines running across the width of each piece of rope, leaving a small gap between each one. When you're doing this, hold the brush quite close to the end of the ferrule. That will give you much more precise control over the tip of the brush. Just take your time and work your way along each strand of the rope, painting on your lines. You might find that some of the strands are going to be too thin to let you paint a line. If that's the case, you can just use a dot instead. I'm not going to show me painting the whole rope, but I think that once you've seen a few strands, you kind of get the idea. So once you've worked your way over the whole rope, mix a bit more white sands into your paint and we'll add a few final highlights just near the top of the rope. I'll apply these as little dots and I'll try my best to target the texture that's already there so that I keep those little gaps between each one. And there we have it. You can see that it gives you a pretty decent effect. Alright guys, so if you ever find yourself painting a rope, I hope you try this out. If you can paint a short line, you should be able to do this. Just remember to hold the brush fairly close to the tip to get more control and leave a small gap between each line. Let me know what you thought of the video. Thanks for everything. Stay safe out there. Bye for now.
So, do we get on right now, or do we drag this out for another 11 seasons first?
What?